Yo, so the opinions and views expressed in this podcast are that of our own and the Future Bachelor podcast only, and not affiliated with any outside party or entity or anything like that. This fun podcast, though, may include some adult language.
Future Bachelor Podcast. 'Cause I already know how this thing goes. And that's how we... sorry.
Okay, see, but this is baloney because
What?
you'll like be like, we're gonna let it ride, and then you'll like let a song go for pretty much the entire thing.
V, listen.
I come back and I just ask for a song. And you can't even just like
I just miss you. I
play
want
out
to
the
talk
good
to you.
part.
I've had to sit here for the last like 20 minutes since you got here just silent because I can't talk to you before the pod. Like you just get really upset. Now that I want to talk to you, you're getting upset. And you know how much I love Kanye too. Jeez, guys. Welcome to Future Bachelor. My name is Sai.
I'm Veronica.
And this is episode 94. It's Veronica's golden episode.
Yeah, I was
Why
born,
is it your golden episode?
I was born in 1994.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I'm just joking.
Okay.
I'm just joking.
But my birthday's next week.
That's what's up. Yeah. So the last two pods were about me. The next two can be kind of about you. You know what I'm saying? So let me know if you want the song to ride. Be like, hey, just let it ride, Sai. And I'll be like, all right, I guess, let's go. But I love
the
Heartless,
lack of
though.
enthusiasm.
That's whatever. You know what I'm
But
saying.
that song, as I said before,
Got you feeling a type of way or something?
I love that song. Before the pod, I was saying how I heard it on the radio. That's right. I, a millennial, listened to the actual radio.
What is that?
But it came on the radio and I was like jamming hard, and it's just actually it's kind of funny. This song was like, I think one of my high school boyfriends and I, this was like one of like our songs, which is like kind of messed up if you think about it, because like what the song is all about.
You guys were never meant to be.
Yeah, it obviously wasn't gonna work out.
Obviously. No, I mean, that was just definitely a cool point when Kanye came out with 808 and Heartbreaks, and it just like he came out with you got your love locked down.
That's my other. I love that one.
And you just heard like
oh.
yeah, but like that song alone, like it's just like 808.
Coldest
like, doom,
Winter.
doom, doom, doom.
Oh my God.
Yo, man, I love me some Tears for Fears. But yeah, no, anyways, that like, you know, was like when Kanye started coming out at the same time with Lil Wayne after T-Pain's been out for a while. Everyone's starting to do auto-tune. That's like Kanye's venture into that. Yeah. And for a while, I didn't think he was going to come out of it, but you know, now he does the gospel stuff, so he's way out of it now.
He's so far out of it.
But yeah, anyways, how have you been, V? What's been going on with you? Welcome back to the show.
I know.
Yeah, it's been kind of crazy.
The fans
missed
missed
let's
me.
give you an applause.
I know they did. I know the kids missed me. Give me some kids. That's right. Kids love it.
Yeah. How was your holidays?
They were good. Did a bunch of stuff with fam back in the Chicagoland area. My grandpa turned 80.
Wow.
So we did a big thing with my mom's side of the family. We had a Topgolf, and then we had like a big brunch at our like family home, and got to do like early Christmas with them, and then did Christmas Eve is like a big Italian thing on my dad's side, where it's called like the Seven Fishes dinner, like the Feast of the Seven Fishes. It's like well known in like especially Italian Catholic culture, where you have like a bunch of different like seafood things. And my aunt makes like the best food, so that was always good times. Got to see a bunch of my hometown besties. I've been friends with some of my friends like Nicole and Michelle since I was like 5, so got to see them.
Nice. What'd you do for New Year's?
New Year's I was back here in Atlanta, and I had tickets. This is why I know you guys were saying last episode, you're like, I thought V was going to come down to Orlando. I had already gotten tickets to a thing at Havana Club here in Atlanta with my friends Taylor Marie, Ray, Maggie, Alexa, and like some of our other friends in that group. And so we pre-gamed, and then we went to that. We probably stayed there literally until maybe only like 12:30 and so, and then went back to like Ray's place to drink some more, eat some tacos, and then fall asleep.
That's a cool New Year's. Sounds like you went to bed way earlier than I did.
I did go to bed really early. I passed out like sitting up on the couch after eating my taco. I was tired. I had been like drinking all day. It just was like too much for me. But I was just exhausted. And but the worst part was that, so how the club is set up is like you walk in and there's like this area, like you go up a couple steps, you like one main dance floor bar area, and then like there's other rooms in the back and whatever. But we at one point, for some reason, decided to like congregate on the steps.
Okay.
And you know, it's New Year's Eve. There's a bunch of people in the club. A bunch of drinks have been spilled already. Things are slick. Things are slippery.
Oh no.
And so I'm standing on a step with some friends, and then with some non-friends, some people who are just around and bouncing around, whatever, and someone bounced into me, and I fell, and I like booty bounced down like 2 steps, and I woke up in the morning being like, ow, my ass kind of hurts. Got home from like staying at my friend's place that night, and then realized I have like a bruise like that is probably 2.5, 3 inches wide.
Jeez.
I bruised my tailbone, but it's like almost, that was like, you know, like over a week ago now, so it's almost healed, but it's like ridiculous.
That's crazy.
So it's been
You're getting too old for this, V.
New Year, same me, just like beat up. And
well, your actual New Year's is coming up on your birthday here soon. So
which I love that. That's like my favorite thing.
Hopefully you don't fall then.
No,
but
well, you know, who's to say?
Maybe you will.
Who's to say?
Maybe you'll fall in love.
Whoa.
I don't know.
I don't know that, like that kind of like.
Sorry. Well,
Yikes.
that kind of can transition. Let's transition over to
triggering for
my
me.
last 2 weeks. Like, you know, it starts with Loverboy with the episode with my mom. What'd you think about that episode?
I feel like your mom and I are on the same wavelength for a lot of things.
She's your spirit animal.
I don't like saying that 'cause it's like offensive to native cultures.
No, I guess so.
But anywho, I think your mom's super cute, super fun to listen to. So that I loved that she calls you out, and obviously like she's your mom, so you're gonna listen to her. But I was like, yes.
I mean, I always listen to her. She's you know, we don't like talk all the time.
I know. I thought it was funny that you said that your mom like texts you more. She's like, oh, I don't want to call you and stuff. And
yeah, I mean, she just doesn't call me. I mean, it's like I'll be the one to have to call her, you know, which is not a bad thing or whatever. I just like sometimes it'd be nice to be like, oh, mom's calling me. But I don't know what that feels like.
Sometimes it'd be nice to feel loved.
Yeah, the only time it's like when someone's like dying or dead or something. I'm like, oh my god, here we go. But yeah, no, it was really cool to have that conversation with her, and you know, I always knew that she's like pretty wise about, you know, when it comes to like relationships and love. Or
I didn't realize she had been married. I had only thought she'd been married to your dad and then to her current husband.
Yeah, I mean, that was like
younger.
That was the cool part about doing the episode with my mom, is that like you get to have that forever, you know. Someone else can listen to it and understand, you know, about me. You know, I could tell them or whatever, but you know, it's kind of like, oh yeah, I come from a family like that. Like I understand. Like it's really normal nowadays for families, like modern families, like, you know what I'm saying, like just to have different types of things, like, you know, it's not as traditional as it once was. And
I mean, they made an award-winning TV show off that whole idea,
right? And I mean, to me, I just like that's what I think makes me unique, is all those things. So, and then the next week I had all my friends after we did
Kids,
the
Wild.
Fly Kids. Shout out to them and my mom again for doing those.
Yeah, shout out to you guys.
Yeah, that was a really fun episode too. Like, it's cool to have, like, I mean, we had the most people we've had on one episode. And it works. So at least now I feel like that was like a test run for our live show on the 100th episode when we do it.
Yeah, especially because it's not like everyone's talking at once, because you could always pass mics.
Yeah, but it was also like a test. I felt like a test for me to be able to host the show. And also, like, I had no notes. That was like all freestyled, really.
I know, I could tell.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like to go from like one person to another to, you know, bringing it back and, you know, just kind of doing all that stuff. I think it's a great episode. I listened to it like 3-4 times already. I mean, I had to travel back from Florida, so that was a lot
you
of
just
hours.
on repeat.
I was like, let me listen to that again, like, you know, but
be like, it's like they're all in the car with me.
Right.
A little tear goes down your face.
I just never want to forget. Like, you could easily, like, a lot of that part of those stories, like, I didn't even remember.
I know, like as you said, your memory isn't the best. It's not.
Well, just like when Kelsey was like, you know, actually I met you first, Si, and I'm like, oh shit, that's right. Like, you know, it's stuff I don't even remember, like, you know, and it's just cool how we all came together and stuff. So it's those 2 episodes like mean a lot to me, just for future purposes of being able to always listen
Future
back and future bachelor purposes. So yeah, that was a good time for during vacation. New Year's was sick, and now I'm back, and I'm happy to be in the ATL. So I don't know. I guess why don't we get back to traditional episodes and what we do and catching those flights, to quick hits.
Wow.
What do we got for some quick hits? I'm excited to be back on the plane.
Alrighty. So first things first, thought we would do a quick just like touch on it because the Golden Globes happened.
Yes.
A decent amount of people watched. I don't know. I watched just because I had been watching you all day.
Me? Why me?
But come on.
Why me?
The show You on Netflix with Penn Badgley. But anyways, and I kind of needed like a palate cleanser, For me, honestly, I love that show. Like, I'm not done with season 2 yet, but it's great. But it really like kind of like I'm like sitting on my couch, just like curled up, being like the entire
it is
time.
Because he just like always like.
I'm always like.
I've seen like the first couple episodes. There's like one part where I was like, God damn. But yeah, besides that, like it's a weird ass show. It's way different how it changes like from the first season. Like it's just interesting. But
yeah. But anyways.
Well, speaking of other Netflix shows before that, I started watching a show called Messiah on Netflix.
I saw it was like I saw the preview.
It's pretty good. Like I have a couple. I think I have 2 more episodes left, but like the show is really good. So if you are looking for a new Netflix show, that is definitely one you should check out. Is Messiah. Okay. But yeah, the Golden Globes. So pretty eventful.
Yeah, Ricky Gervais hosted. I think it was just his 5th time, and he said it would be his final time hosting it. And I've heard a lot of. So Ricky Gervais, like, he's obviously a controversial person in general, and he had some transphobic tweets recently, things like that, where people are like meh, and especially since we all know what happened with Kevin Hart with like his different like tweets and things that kind of took him out of being the Oscars host last year or 2 years ago now at this point, who knows.
Yep.
But so people obviously mixed bag going into it. A lot of people kind of liked how like deadpan and like how he kind of made like everyone hate him, like, which everyone kind of already hates Ricky. I don't know anybody who like really is like Ricky Gervais, he's great. Like
well, first of all, he created The Office, which is like people's favorite show.
But like he created it originally. The other version that.
Yeah, the concept was his, and I think he's still like produces the show.
I think so.
But regardless, like I think he's funny. I definitely think he's like into himself, like but who is a little bit
he is funny. I think some of the stuff, and I liked, honestly, he made like a good joke about David Epstein not killing himself, and then like being all like, oh, like I get it, you guys are friends, because like he just really, the thing that I guess I liked is that he really was calling out everybody in that room kind of like,
he wasn't like beating around the bush. He was saying stuff that you would say like to your friends or something. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, these people are all like faking it in this room.
Yeah, and he even like mentioned how it was like ridiculous that like no women directors were nominated, and how like he like said stuff to whatever the whatever.
Yeah, he said he was gonna do some like in memorandum, and like there was not enough diversity into people that died or something, so he was like, forget that. Yeah, so like I feel like he's annoying, but I feel like he was an interesting dynamic for like especially a room full of people. Like Joaquin Phoenix was up his own booty hole for his whole speech, and I was just like, bruh. What was his speech? I honestly like got up during it, like, and it was just his acceptance speech for like. Was he just like mumbling and stuff? It was just like he was like just getting into like being like, oh well, this, it was just like not coherent, and it was just very. I don't even know how to describe it, but that's pretty cool. It comes off of a year where like like you've seen those comments that like Martin Scorsese has said about like comic book movies and stuff, like says they're not like real movies. Yeah. But this was an interesting, different take on a comic book character, and he really killed it. That's a role that's really hard to live up to after people like Heath Ledger.
Yeah, it's
and,
been done
Jack Nicholson.
so many different ways. Yeah.
Not Jared Leto, but
No. I mean, yeah, but in general, I mean, the Globe.
And he probably went through a lot for that role.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean, everyone who plays that role does. Like, I don't know if they ever come out.
It's like a method actor role.
But in general, like, the Globes are weird because, like, they sort of predict and they sort of don't what's going to happen at the Oscars. And, like, The Irishman didn't win a damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
And some other things that won, like, I was kind of surprised by. But then, like, some I, like...
I mean, I don't know. The Irishman was all right.
I know. Well, yeah. It's, like, it's definitely more... I feel like it's more Oscar bait.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to get... It's going to get some Oscar action.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little disappointed that J-Lo didn't win for supporting actress in Hustlers, but maybe she won't. Not in the Oscars, but I could dream. But in general, the fashion was not great. Everybody's outfits were pretty weird. There's only like several that I liked.
Speaking of J-Lo, her outfit was like horrible.
My thing is like J-Lo is fine AF. She is a fine AF 50-year-old woman.
She's
like
trying too hard.
Like, why is she in this giant, like, she should just, honestly, she should show up at every award show in that Versace deep V dress that got, like, that started Google Images and just, like, honestly rock it all the time because it's amazing and it will forever be iconic. And, like, she was wearing, like, something that made her look like a present. And, like, I'm like... If I looked the way that J-Lo looked, I would be in any sort of bodycon sheer situation I could put myself into because I'd be like, I look hot as hell. Like what am I gonna?
Well,
do?
in Bachelor news, Nick Viall and
our girl Demi
went to the show together. Do you think there's something there?
They've both.
Demi's kind of hot. Damn, like she's always been pretty, but like I feel like she got a glow up or something.
I mean, like she like now she has like glam teams and stuff at her disposal.
Right.
But they've said in different things that they're not dating. But I wouldn't put it past them. I don't know. Like Nick is like always like I love Nick Viall. Like I have this weird love for him, and he's so.
You wouldn't think.
He's so shady and he's so awful. But
I hate the way he talks. He like doesn't open his mouth.
He mumbles. He always that was But I used to know exactly where his office was in Chicago when he still worked there.
Okay, you.
Because it's right around the corner from the Chicago Sun-Times office.
Right, you need to chill on the Netflix.
Okay. But yeah, I don't know. They've said that they're not dating, but I don't know.
Well, our your boy Justin Bieber just released a new song called Yummy.
Yummy, yeah.
What do you think of it?
It's very, very catchy. It's an earworm.
I think it sucks.
It's definitely... I saw a tweet that I super agreed with, where it was like, if any female pop artist like put out this song and like the visuals that he put along with it, with like she's like with this like level of mediocrity, like they'd be like lambasted for it, but because it's like Justin Bieber, like everyone's just like, oh my god, like
yeah, it's true. I mean, the concept itself, I was listening to a podcast earlier and they were talking about I mean, when would you ever say, I mean, as a guy, as a man, like, you know what I'm saying, what would you ever say the like yummy, like, you know what I'm saying?
I've had men say that.
Okay, that's just weird. They're not men, first of all. Like, men wouldn't be like, yummy.
I don't think so. I don't.
That's creepy as shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean,
you made it sound sexy. You're trying to make it sound sexy. It's creepy as shit. Like, I don't know. As for a guy to say it, I think it's
like
weird.
It's been called it's been like a pet name.
Yummy?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But
I mean, it's for me, it's always just weird because like I keep forgetting like that he's married and like that weirds me out still. Like that
you forget that he posts like things about God every Sunday, like hundreds of things he's posted about God and his new religion and being at church. And you're gonna drop yummy.
It's like him and Kanye West. I mean, like similar vibes.
Well, at least Kanye is like making church music. Like, I mean, you don't even have to make church music. Just don't make yummy. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, you're an idiot.
I mean, like, can you not be like faithful and also like be sexual?
It's a dumb song, though.
I mean, it's a dumb song.
It's just like, there's no reason. Like, you're Justin Bieber. Like, you can be, why are you making yummy when you could be making like, I don't know, like.
It could be.
What are you trying to do?
Like, you could go back to any song from like Journals, which was a great album, or like Purpose, great album, anything. Like, he makes great songs. Like, obviously this is catchy. It's gonna get a ton of radio play, and it already has like
It's for kids. That's what it is. But that's even the dumber part of it. I mean,
and it's great
what are you
for
trying to say?
It's good for choreography because my favorite choreographer, Paris Goebel, and then her whole tribe, who did his music video for Sorry, which is great music video. I used to know how to do that entire dance. They already did like a whole
Weird
dance
flex.
They already did like a whole video, like a choreography and everything for it, and it's great. But like that, I've seen so many choreography videos for this song already because it's got good beat and everything. But yeah, I mean, like the song itself, it's not.
Well, you know, it's really bad when like they have like a person has to retweet all like the dance videos and all the, because that's, first of all, like people will make dance videos not just because they like the song, but because like the artist might like retweet it. Like I just did that one for the bop, like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, that's
like you have a chance of like the artist like just like flipping it.
Well, that's like
viral.
I mean, and that's like how some of like my favorite dancers and stuff, like that's how then they've like been brought into stuff. Like one of my favorite dancers, Jade Chenoweth, she like did a bunch of choreography to Without Me and everything, and then tagged Halsey in it, and Halsey was like, this is great, and that's why she got to perform with Halsey there. And then also at the Savage by Fenty fashion show. Like, nice. That's how they do it.
Well, yeah. Song's stupid. And Justin Bieber apparently like today announced that he has Lyme disease. So I mean, that's an even dumber thing. Like, you're gonna go out like with Yummy. Like, you know what I'm saying?
He's gonna go out. He's not gonna die right now.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I mean, it's an incurable disease, isn't it?
Yeah, it will. Yeah.
And you're gonna go out with Yummy,
but like
this is what you're giving to the world.
You can like, it can go into like remission and stuff. Like,
I'm just saying, Yummy is dummy.
Yummy is dummy. I obviously, it's not a slapper. It's an earworm, not a slapper. There's a major difference.
Yeah, I almost like, it's just so bad we had to talk about it. I don't even want to talk about it. But regardless, what else we got?
All right. So speaking of, no, I don't know. I was going to do a segue. I can't do it. So American Girl Dolls.
Now everyone's going to wonder what that segue could have possibly been.
So American Girl Dolls. If you're like my age to probably like maybe early 30s, American Girl Dolls were a part of your childhood, or maybe you looked at them longingly in
They're
catalogs.
like Build-A-Bear.
Except not really. They're expensive ass dolls.
They're expensive Build-A-Bears.
Yeah, they're expensive ass dolls. It started as just the historical ones, and there's ones that look like you, and then there's the Girls of the Year, which each year they release a Girl of the Year, and like she has her own little story and like whatever, and like a shit ton of expensive accessories. Well, this year's Girl of the Year, her name is Joss, which is an interesting name. Joss is the first ever doll to have hearing loss. So she has a little hearing aid.
Yeah, it's cute. It's cute.
My thing is like, so my best friend Kendall, shout out to Kendall, is deaf. And like I sent her that. She's like, this is really cool, because she's like, there's never, like when I was growing up, she's like, there wasn't like any
dolls. I mean, that's cool for that, but I mean dolls, you know. They can't hear, but they should all have hearing aids. There's definitely
some tweets being like, "Are you saying that all my other American Girl dolls could hear me?"
Okay, that's messed up. I don't even want to laugh at this. So let's bring it back.
Harvey.
What else we get?
Weinstein.
Yeah.
So he's currently on trial in New York for all of the charges that were put against him like a year and a half, 2 years ago at this point. But like the day he was like going into that trial, there was more charges from California of like sexual assault that are being charged against him. So then depending on what happens in this trial, that could be added. It's just gonna, homie's not gonna see the light of day unless like he really wriggles his way out. But he's also, I mean, he might not even see the light of day anyways.
Did he have like that old man Walker thing? Like, who thinks that's actually going to help anybody? Like, I just don't understand how people think the walker is going to help.
Oh,
it's been done.
Poor Harvey.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's the craziest thing I've ever seen. It's just, his health is deteriorating. Like,
oh my God, yeah, willing to sell.
Yeah.
But he was on his cell phone, like, during, like, in court. Like, that's, like, highly illegal. Like, you can't just be, like, sitting in court on your cell phone. Like, if you're like,
So what? He was fine.
so no, he like he got yelled at by like the judges and stuff, being like, yo, like we could send you to jail for that.
Wow.
And then like his attorneys and stuff are now yelling, like being like trying to potentially sue the judge.
Okay.
So there's just Harvey Weinstein's going to be stuck in a courtroom of some sort for probably in and out of a courtroom until he hopefully gets to jail for probably the next like year or so.
We'll developments will happen, and we'll
Future
just
Bachelor investigates.
Yeah, no. Did you like how I used the Future Bachelor investigates siren for the dirty dog siren for PG? That shit was hilarious.
Dirty dog.
Paw.
Yikes.
Dirty dog. All right. What else we
Anyway,
got?
so J-Lo, as I said, would have been great if she got that that Golden Globe, but she didn't. So, but she's currently being her production company are being sued for $40 million by Samantha Barbash, who is the character that inspired, who is the person that inspired the character that J-Lo plays, named Ramona in the film. So she's the one who the 2015 New York Magazine article was written about. So like it was called Hustlers at the Hustlers at Scores. So it was the whole premise of the movie is about how there were strippers at Scores in New York who, you know, had a whole scheme where they would drug men enough to take their money and then like send them home. To kind of game the system after.
Yeah, it sounds like what we talked about Cardi B, and
Cardi
she
B.
did a movie about it.
Yeah. I mean, well, because it happened. It was like real thing. But anyways, but anyways, so this woman, Samantha Barbash, is suing them for saying that she never fully consented to them, you know, using her story or whatever, her likeness, all that kinds of stuff. So we'll have to see what happens with that. It's
damn, you'd think that would be something you could get before you made a movie, but yeah, that's crazy. This Mac Miller album dropping, Circles.
So Mac Miller, when obviously before he died, rest in peace, was working on what was supposed to be a complimentary album to Swimming, called Circles. The whole idea was to be like swimming in circles. And he was working on it with John Bryan, and it wasn't completely done yet. And when he died, and so John Bryan went on to finish it, based on like the notes and everything that they had, or like whatever work they had already done, went to finish it, and they will be releasing it January 17th.
Wow, I bet you that album goes number 1 or something.
I mean, it's definitely, and it's interesting because like they're being so mindful of like how they're handling. So they posted the note to like Mac Miller's Instagram, and so like they're being like, you know, obviously like we want to be mindful of like keep different things sacred or whatever. Like this is the only thing that we're posting to this channel, and like they're like if you want to follow anything else, like following the rest of like Mac Miller's like charities and like how that work will be going, like follow this new account just because they're like, yo, like this was his account, this isn't like ours just to like fuck around in, which was in it, you know, in the world that we live in where like social media is like a weird time capsule for people who passed, or like how people use it that like can go even like in the weird way that people create Instagram accounts for unborn babies and like talk as in them, like the same idea of like being like, okay, well this person's dead, like we're not gonna like talk as
for dogs.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I always think it's weird too, like when someone dies, like their last post is like so eerie, you know what I'm saying? It's always like something like, you know, live life, and then they're dead.
Live life. Jesus, sigh.
Killing life.
Oh no. But anyway, so I'm interested to hear that when it comes out. It comes out the day before my birthday. We'll have to see, but I'm sure. I mean, he was put up for a Grammy posthumously when for Swimming.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll have to see. So did you see this? Did you see this story?
I saw the story. I didn't see this, but yeah. I mean, it was funny because I feel like I saw a meme about it like 2 weeks ago or something. Like, wouldn't it be crazy if like, I forgot what the point was of it, but it was like if someone like was doing nudes to stop the fires and something like that or whatever. And I was just like, I saw it like twice or something. And then this story comes out like 2 weeks later. I wonder if the girl saw like.
I mean, yeah, this story is probably like half a week or a week old now.
Yeah, but I wonder if like she saw that meme too, and then she got the idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or if the meme is inspired by that. I don't know.
Who's to say? But so, Instagram influencer Kaylin Ward, who now is referring to herself as the Naked Philanthropist. Was feeling some kind of way about the awful brush fires that are happening in Australia, and decided to, she already like sells. She's what I would call like a modern day sex worker. She's a sex worker where she sells nudes and stuff like on the internet and things like that. And so she decided to be like, yo, if like I'm already selling these for monies, why don't I just like make people buy them for charity? So what she tweeted out, I'm selling nudes to every person who donates at least $10 to any one of these fundraisers. Like, she had a whole list with links and everything. In Australia, for the wildfires in Australia, every $10 you donate equals one nude picture from me in your DM. You must send me confirmation that you donated. Please retweet. So she did it, and like it obviously went viral. Like, people were like sending like we're showing proof that they like donated like that $1,000 or like whatever. Like, she didn't think it was gonna get this big, but it like became huge. And so there's, I think,
what if you just photoshopped it?
I don't know. But
Photoshop a screenshot? Like, what is?
Yeah, I mean, so she has estimated that she thinks like probably
You think she's
probably
copying?
like $500,000 or probably at this point like 700,000.
You think she's like copy and pasting the same picture? She's like, all right, this is this is the $10 picture. This is the $20 picture. This is the $30 picture.
I mean, like, she has.
But for every $10,
she has like a little team like of people that are helping like verify, make sure like stuff was actually like, make sure like it's not just like.
But
bots or whatever.
$1,000, like that's a lot of nudes.
Yeah. So like.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm sure, like, obviously, not everyone's getting their own specific nude. Mm-hmm. So, I'm sure.
She's like, here's my titty. Just whipping it out, taking a selfie.
So, yeah. So, but because of that, like, I think people have seen, like, this stuff. It's, like, become memeable in different ways where people have, like, seen either screenshots of her original tweet or whatever, and people being like, oh, not all heroes wear capes and stuff. And, like, some of that's been shared on Instagram.
Or anything at all. Okay.
God damn it.
That's good.
That was pretty good.
Thank you.
Because of that, because it was being shared around on Instagram took down her account because
that's bullshit.
Because they said it was breaking guidelines because you can't sell. Not that she was selling pictures. She wasn't selling.
So many girls do that that's like a super normal on Instagram. Like what's the fans only?
It's not like she's exactly fans and yeah.
Porn stars.
It links to stuff that are not even in the account itself. Like technically, she wasn't like she wasn't doing any business on Instagram. It's not like she was sending nudes or posting nudes via Instagram.
Right.
Like she was.
And it's like if you like get into people's inboxes, that's all they are is like titties and dicks and stuff, like, right?
Yeah, I guess.
I mean,
for some people,
not for me. I'm just saying, like,
I'm like, I don't know.
I'm just saying, like, I can't. I mean, there's got to be a lot of people out there sharing their things.
Sharing their thing, sharing some resources.
Anyways, this news kind of broke today. I mean, it's pretty interesting. I think I'm not like really that interested ever on like royal stuff,
but now they're gonna be like not really royal. So
yeah. So what's the deal?
So, Meghan Markle and her husband Prince Harry, have decided that they are going to take a step back from being what is referred to as senior members of the royal family. So, and that they're going to be financially independent and split their times between like US and UK 50-50 to kind of give their son, Archie, a life like, to understand the relevance of the crown in their family, but also like the relevance of like USA. And this is like kind of groundbreaking, because especially, and I feel like some of it that leads into it is Prince Harry is like 5th or 6th in line for the crown at this point, and like Queen Elizabeth has been hanging on, dog. Like, she is not going anywhere.
Yeah, like I've
yet.
seen like The Crown or whatever on like Netflix, and I'm
Yeah.
like, hold on a second, this is about this
It's
girl.
yeah.
It's about this woman.
Yeah, like she's been
So long ago. Why does it look like Game of Thrones? And she's like now with like an iPhone. She went from Game of Thrones to iPhone. That's pretty crazy.
but
The
yeah,
iThrone. That's what her called.
iThrone. Oh no.
Yep.
Oh yeah, put it down. So yeah, but so like, and one of the people that Prince Harry is behind is like his 1-year-old nephew.
Mm-hmm.
So like he's like, yeah, like I'm not getting that. Like I don't, whatever. Like what's the point of us being in this
That's
position?
what people think.
Okay.
Until
anyways.
everyone dies in a fire.
Okay.
And they need a king.
Anyways, okay. Jesus. But
saying.
and plus what this does for them is this allows them to actually like go into the US and spend that time, because like if they were like in their roles in the royal family like the way that they have been, it wouldn't really allow them that flexibility or anything.
I mean, Jon Snow thought the same thing when he went to
my-
the wall. I'm just saying, he thought the same thing. And when they needed a king, who'd they come running to?
Anyways, but
The bastard.
it's pretty much Meghan saying, it's like them saying like, yo, we don't need your money, Queenie. We'll do it our way.
Yeah, but she says that after like they paid for the wedding and the baby and
I
all
mean,
that.
like, yeah, it's not even like it's just like the institution paid for the wedding. It's like so much even bigger than that. But I mean, whatever. Like,
I wouldn't take that seriously from Meghan Markle. It's like, yo, I mean, it's cool to be like been there, done that, and whatever. But I mean, she knew what she was getting into. That's like it kind of sucks because it's like, I mean, it is what it is, but like the family is all like, that's probably the issues they had with her coming into the family. It's like, this actually makes, that the royal family like vulnerable to a lot more things. I think like, the amount of protection and stuff they have around the family.
well, they won't be like with them, so they won't need it.
Yeah, but you don't think that if someone like, I mean, God forbid, I'm not saying anything, like kidnapped regular Harry now, that the royal family is not going to give a fuck about it.
I mean, yeah, they're good, but like, I mean, it's not like they step out of it and like they're idiots. Like, I mean, it's still like they obviously like still are gonna have their own set of resources. It's not like either of them, like Meghan at least.
So is there like a ceremony like to come out of like being in the lineage of a royal family?
I don't know. I don't think so.
So
who's to
just
say?
like, I'm not with it anymore. Deuces.
Kind-
Bye.
Kind of.
Wow. Okay.
Kind of. But yeah,
well-
so that's interesting. This moved quicker than actual Brexit, so I guess like good for them.
Wow.
For getting shit done.
Are we doing a mini main topic, or do you have a yikes moment?
I have a yikes moment.
Okay. What made you go yikes?
What made me go yikes, and it's actually related to The Bachelor,
Okay.
our new season of The Batch,
Okay.
is that one of the contestants,
Mhm.
Victoria F., who was seen most of this episode, first of all, bitching about being another Victoria and not her she's like, I don't want to be Victoria F. Okay, girl, like get over yourself. But also she just was a kind of like whiny crybaby. She she modeled for a White Lives Matter merch company, like actively all over, like wearing like shirts and like hats that say like WLM or like White Lives Matter and like American flags and things like that. So yeah, like that just made me go yikes, because first of all, yikes into the fact that there's like, probably multiple merch dealers of sorts of that kind, and also that like sometimes similar to like Kendall Jenner with like that very tone deaf Pepsi commercial. Sometimes I'm like,
this is completely not even tone deaf though. Like to put on a shirt and like be proud to be wearing something that says White Lives Matter is like, it's fucked up. Like, I mean, you could claim like you're ignorant and you didn't know what you were doing, I guess.
Yeah, like I just
but think about it. Like, it's just like, I would never. I don't know. Like, I mean, what if I put Brown Lives Matter?
But like that actually is like okay though, because like brown and black lives, like that's like a movement.
I know.
Like,
but on the flip side of it,
lives-
sometimes I feel like, I mean, I was having a conversation about another thing where it's just like, it was a women versus men thing. And I was saying my point and she was saying her point, but then it's like at the end of the day,
I love this vague.
What?
I said I love.
Well, it's just like not. What's going on here?
I don't know.
I'll have to check on that.
The light is flickering. I'm like kind of like, are the spirits
the poltergeist? They're back again. They found me. No, I mean, but like when it comes to, sometimes like you just feel like I know you're not the oppressed side of it, but sometimes you feel like you're like targeted as being like to blame on something when just because of like your skin color or something. Like a white person could be like, not all white people are like this, or like are all racist and stuff like that, and it almost makes you feel like become racist almost, like because you have to be proud of being who you are. Some people will like take it like as far as to put on like a shirt that says White Lives Matter.
I mean, yeah, that is that is like racism.
Yeah,
like, that's like
I you know what I'm saying, but it's just like I can see why somebody would like feel like there were I don't know, like they're proud to be who they are and stuff like that. Even if they were white, you could be fine.
Like you don't have to be like, wow, I'm white. I
check
hate
it on this light real quick. Keep
yeah,
talking.
like I don't think you have to be like, wow, I'm white. I hate being white. Like no, like I don't think that's how it should be at all. But I also think like using the issue with this is that Black Lives Matter was a movement born out of the increased gun violence against black people, black and brown bodies. And so then for white people to take on that movement and to flip it in a way to be all like, we don't really care about your lives, we care about like, because it's like
trust me.
It's
I started this off by saying like
it's fully like just like oppression at its finest, because it's like, well, we can't have you feeling some kind of way without us also feel like, well, our lives matter too. It's like, yeah, of course they do. Everybody's lives matter, but like, but especially like, where to this whole movement is the idea.
You didn't come up with the lives matter statement.
The whole movement is the
idea
that like white people are like killing black people.
Yeah, no, I mean, trust me, it's. I just sometimes like try to like. Maybe it's just the way I've grown up, like, to just try to understand where somebody else is coming from with, like, not even just being completely ignorant, like, not knowing. They just don't know. People just don't know. And it's just like, I don't know what to say about it. Like, yeah, they should know. Yeah, it's 2020 now, and, like, there's all this stuff, but, like, you'd be surprised at where like some people grow up, they're just not exposed to some stuff.
Well, yeah, no, yeah, and I understand that completely. Like
so
going to school,
you're a product of your environment. Sometimes it's not an excuse, but like I just sometimes like think about like the other side and where they might be coming from.
Well, yeah, I mean,
try to like rationalize it in my own head. But
obviously, I do that too, and like going to school, like going to college in the middle of Missouri and being like with people like who were from rural areas of Missouri who had literally never seen a black person in their life before. And then dealing with the different things, like, you could Google Mizzou fall 2015 concerned student.
Those are one of the most awkward moments that I'll tell you, like when people have never been around black people.
Oh, yeah.
And then they get exposed to it. You're just like, it's like one of the cringiest things to watch sometimes.
It kind of,
like,
it could either be cringy.
You're like, oh my God.
It could either be cringy or it could be cringy if like they're just like, well-meaning and they try too hard and they say stuff that's just like off base, and then it could just be like hate speech if they're just saying shit because like they literally are just like, well, I've been taught that black people are bad.
Yeah, so interesting. Yikes. Well, I had a mini main topic. I don't know, I forgot like kind of like the format of these when the Bachelor's back on. It's been that long since the Bachelor in Paradise.
I mean, well, that's how it always is. But
okay. I put down this topic of.
I see it right now, and I I feel this.
Okay, so I kind of wanted. I tested it the other night. Or I was with a friend, and like I was like, I wrote down this topic. Let me just bounce it off you and see. Like I'm like, have you ever gotten ready and like you have a date planned for the night. It's kind of like, but the communication's not really there, like a little bit, and you just know that they're like, yeah, meet this time and blah blah blah, and you're just trying to get an answer, but like it's very loose, and then you're still getting ready for the date because you're thinking it's gonna happen, and then it doesn't.
Or some people even get all the way to the place and then like get like stood up because it wasn't confirmed.
Yeah, has that ever happened to you?
No.
She said the same thing too. She was like, no, never. But like the thing is, actually no, then she realized that it happened this
I've
weekend.
never been like fully stood up ever.
Well, I mean, like, could it be because like something popped up and they were like had to cancel last minute or gave you an excuse?
My thing is like I'm a big so
not
like
ghosted you, but like
my thing is like if I'm taking a shower and I'm getting ready for somebody, not for somebody, for myself to meet somebody, but
whatever way you put it, girl.
I'm a big like confirmer of plans because like, there's always like I feel like especially in this modern dating landscape you'll do the whole like you'll do like yeah like Wednesday works, okay, like after work I get off at this time, and being like like we could go here, but like none of it's like, as you're saying, like none of it's like you didn't like actually decide like yeah let's meet at this bar at this time. But then so my ass is gonna be in there being like, so are we still down for this time at this bar, or did you want to do something else? And then
but I mean you've done that before and it's been very difficult to get an answer out of somebody, right?
I mean like I've even dated people before who it was difficult to like
it gets there. Definitely like in dating I can understand why that would get difficult, but like when you're trying to go on a first date with someone and it's difficult like to try to figure out that info,
it's just like why I just hate it. Like it's so annoying when it's like if you want to meet up, just like literally like let's plan it, like if we're both in it and you both already know like what day's free and whatever. Like when I've known plenty of people who literally wouldn't show up to things because like maybe the guy didn't confirm like like okay like I'll see you tonight at whatever, like she didn't like they had set the plan maybe like 4 days prior, like set a plan 4 days prior, and then like the day of came and like she either texted them, didn't get a response or whatever, and then she's like okay well I'm not gonna show up because I don't know, and then getting a text either from the guy like last minute being like hey like sorry I can't do it, or being like hey like where are you, being like well how was I supposed to know that we were legit on, you never confirmed.
Yeah, I mean it kind of happened like this past weekend, like my friend, she was like supposed to come to the party, she texted or like we're like all right like all that stuff, like here's the party, see you there. And then like at 10:30, apparently she texts and just goes like, you there yet? And I don't really check my phone during parties, so I like saw it at like 12:30.
Yeah, no, you're
like,
bad. Yeah. Well, my thing is like you just don't like. It's like you'll be on your phone in other ways, but you just won't respond to texts.
Yeah, I hate text. But first of all, no.
But like if you have friends relying on you, you have to respond.
I don't. The thing is, like, it wasn't relying on me. Like it was like, well, see you at the party. She already had like the address and all that stuff. So. I didn't even know that she was going to hit. I thought she was just going to walk through the door.
But no. Okay, I feel her because, like, if I'm going into a situation, especially, like, if I maybe don't know everybody there and, like, I'm, like, supposed to be meeting somebody, like, I'm going to text, like, okay, heading there, okay, walking up, or okay, like, I'll see, see, this is where you kind of maybe, like, weren't the best friend in this situation.
No, but, if someone, I just, like, I felt like I had left it to, like, I'll see you at the party type thing. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't like a thing where I felt like I had to like do the whole thing. Regardless, it's not that big of a deal. It was just the fact that I don't really check my phone at parties in general. So it was just like one of those things where I was just like a miss. But that person didn't show up that night because I didn't respond to that text and stuff. So it was like, a little miss like that could like definitely affect like a night.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking about like, I think it's different for guys. Like, I think guys, I feel like I can't think of a specific time, but I definitely feel like I've gotten ready before and like it just like didn't happen. I'm just like sitting here all fresh to death, just like now I gotta do something, right? And then I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a bad feeling.
Yeah, I'm like just still thinking about like I guess like I'm still thinking about with the situation that you brought up and how like I'd be frustrated if I were in her shoes, your friend's shoes. Like if she like tried to text me.
Well, the thing is, all right. Well, the thing is that like what? All right. So with me, it was like we have a mutual friend. Her friend is my friend, and they were supposed to be at the party too. Apparently, they can track each other's stuff, and she wasn't there, so that was another reason why she didn't come because her friend wasn't there.
Okay.
I wasn't thinking like I thought she was just coming to a party, like like everyone goes to a party. I don't know, like it wasn't like that, and so I don't know what to tell you. Like I mean, now that I'm saying it out loud, like you're making me feel bad about it. Like it definitely feels like more my fault than I guess.
Well, it kind of like
I took acceptance of it. I was like, yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't think. I thought you were just gonna show up. So
yeah, I mean, well, you have to like think about like not everybody likes just showing up to a party. Like,
I get that now. Now. I mean, it all makes sense to me. Like. Before that, but I'm talking about in the moment. Like I just don't check my phone at parties. Like I wasn't thinking of checking my phone actually. I don't know why. I was just because I just gotten back from Atlanta and I was just like in the car so long and stuff. I was just really happy to be like around a party and like having a good time. So but yeah, so I thought it was really interesting. I was wondering if like you had ever been like,
I think I've like gotten I feel like more like I've gotten ready to go out like with friends and stuff before and then have like friends flake and then I'm like fuck.
I feel like
and then I'm like doing all my makeup removal. I'm like, fine, time to do like my set. Or if like my makeup looks that good or something and I already have like the fit on, I like try to like see if I can rally anybody else up to like go out or whatever. Cause I'm like, okay, where can I go to meet up with somebody? Because I'm like, now I'm like, I did all this. For what?
I'm trying to think of a scenario right now because I'm thinking more of like maybe not being stood up, but you've been in a situation where you get ready and you're supposed to be ready by 8 and then the person's like, I'm like running behind and then they push it an hour or two and then you're like sitting there like fresh and ready to go at like 8 and then like it's like 11 and you're like, what is going on right now?
I feel like for me, that
happened to me on a Valentine's Day, like not too long ago.
Oh, that's right. You told me about that.
Yeah. And like, it was like, I have like made dinner. Like I'm done. I've pretty much spent the whole day planning like, this thing. And then you just kind of want to like be like, I'm running late or this happened. And I'm like, okay.
I had like a guy.
It's a shitty feeling. It's like
talk some big game being like, okay, like, I'm going to come pick you up at this time to go see this movie, like be ready. And then, that time came around and I texted them being like, oh, I'm ready. Like got my like ready because they would always make fun of me for not being ready on time. But, I was ready. And then they were like, oh, I'm running late. Oh, I'm running late. And it turned into being like, could you just meet me at the movie? And I was like pissed.
Did you meet him?
Yeah.
I knew you would.
I mean, they bought my ticket.
Because you love movies.
They bought my ticket.
You love sugar daddies.
So yeah. But
well, yeah, I just thought it was an interesting main topic.
Main.
Just nothing like a good old, humble pie right there, bringing back memory lane of this sometimes where you're just like you're on top of the world, like you know what I'm saying, and then you're just like you have real like feel in a dark place real fast. Yeah.
Anyways.
Well,
speaking of being brought to a dark place, we're back to The Bachelor.
Yeah. This is cool. We decided to do something this year, being that it's the beginning of our 3rd year of the podcast.
Yeah, this is technically, I mean, like last week / going into this week was our 2nd anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
So like happy 2nd anniversary.
Happy 2nd anniversary.
We're 2 years old.
Wow. Don't cry. No, I think it's really cool that we're still doing this thing, and like I'm setting up this stuff here, and it's kind of like routine. Like I don't like it doesn't feel like I'm like, all right, well, this is my Wednesday night. This is what I do.
This is what happens. I know. Even when some of my friends who know me like try to ask me to hang out on Wednesday nights, I'm like, what do you think I'm doing?
Yeah. Have you ever hung out with me on a Wednesday?
Like, if anything, it's later.
Yeah. But what was I gonna say? This year, like, I wanted to do something new. And we started the Bachelor Live Watch on Facebook.
Yeah.
And it was kind of on a whim. like, to start it up.
We'll see how many we do it for.
I mean, I think
I don't want to do it for every episode.
Episode?
I don't want to do it for every episode. I think it makes it less special then.
What?
If we do it for every episode.
Maybe. I just think like it's more of like I like it as a place to just to be in conversation while people are watching the show and stuff. It's just for me.
I guess like I've always been doing that though.
Yeah, well, you can continue to do that. I just think like with the Bachelor Live, I would like to do it every week, and it just for me, I think it's going to be a good thing for promotion for the podcast to continue to get the Future Bachelor name out there. I'm no longer trying to miss opportunities. If we're doing this podcast, like every Monday that there's a Bachelor, we're going live, whether you're here or not. And that's because I need to promote this podcast because we're investing in our time in it. And
I mean, you're acting like I don't promote it like with my tipsy talk.
No. You can continue doing the tipsy talk, but I think when it comes to Facebook Live, it's a different thing than tipsy talk. It's like its own thing. And so, you're able to chat with people the whole time the show's on. We actually have the show on the, thing. So, to me, if I'm going to watch The Bachelor, I want to be doing something, me personally, doing something that I think, the Tipsy Talks does add value to the Instagram. But I feel like Facebook is kind of like a place where we're missing out. Like, that's why I do.
But a lot of our audience isn't there either, though.
Well, I mean, there's people there. I'm not.
There are, obviously.
The audience isn't there because we don't do that much on Facebook with our shit. And I think like doing a live watch when the show's on is a great way to do that. And
I mean, it was fun. It's a cool, like, I liked it. It's super fun. I loved, like, interacting with people on just a different format.
Yeah, no, to me, I think it's dope because, like, I have to watch the show. I have to watch the show anyways.
Yeah.
And, to be able to, like, talk to people, get maybe other people interested in it. You'd be surprised,
grabbing some people who are just trying to find ways to watch the show. So then now they're seeing us.
Right. They're, like, oh, wow. I mean, I don't know how to watch a show. I mean, I might as well watch these guys talk about the show while it's like on in the background. And then, I just think there's going to be ways of getting people to like, get to know us a little bit more by watching us having our own live show. This is a recorded show. Yes, it's on YouTube, so you can watch this like every week. You can watch
our little faces.
But I think there's an element of being live that like we haven't really tapped into yet when it comes to Future Bachelor, the brand, over this like just the podcast. And I think it's going to be like something fun to do. Like we can have guests on there too. Maybe invite people that have never watched The Bachelor.
It. I think that would be fun.
And I think it's a cool way too. Like like I think people like to interact. Like that alone, like it was supposed to be just my phone, just like filming us. When you showed up, it was like a whole different set than this set we are on right now. And I know
we had a background. We were in a cabin.
Yeah, it was the cabin.
The cabin
of this, but
the love shack, if you will.
Yeah, and I think it's really cool. That we have our own little TV show live, and it's just adding to the brand. So every week, whether V is here or not, we'll figure
it
out.
On
the show.
We'll talk offline about it.
But yeah, so we watched the show, and this episode is, I thought it was pretty good for a first episode. Longer than it had to be, probably.
3 hours long, which is annoying, but at
least they didn't make it 2 nights.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
But it's it was limo night, but they also did several dates this week. So limo, there are a lot of people were really playing up the whole windmill situation. They're playing up the like how many times he did it in the windmill. There's a lot of condoms being thrown around.
Yeah, that part is like super cringy. Like I don't know why it's just like weird that you can talk about you having sex with somebody else.
The way that this show, I've said it so many times, but the way that this show treats sex is very bizarre to me. And it's just really not like super healthy how they treat it. Like it's never like freeing or like, it's just bizarre. It's very, I feel like I've talked about it in a bunch of other ones, but, then of course, there's like 4 or 5 girls who are flight attendants. And like the first one who came in, Eunice, she like thought she was going to be like, hot shit cause she was a flight attendant. And then like found out that like there's like 4 more of them. But
we knew that was going to happen.
I mean, we knew that because like we saw,
We've seen a season with like 4 Laurens.
I mean, yeah. We've seen the one girl, I thought this was hilarious, brought her emotional support cow. I would think it's like the cattle rancher girl, and she said the cow's name was Ashley P, which obviously like that cow probably has like a whatever name or just a number, but like named it Ashley P because like playing off the fact that like everybody's names are like whatever in a letter.
Yeah, but you would think they'd like have something more clever than Ashley P. Like, you know, like at least like do something that.
I mean, I thought it was like a funny little.
No. Like, I mean, it sounds like another girl on The Bachelor, but I think they could have. Yeah, but I'm saying they could have gone a step further and like added some type of cow pun inside of it that was clever.
True, like
Ashley P has nothing to do with like a cow. You just handed him a cow that you named after a white girl.
But the after, like, you know, if you watch the show, you really got to make sure you watch even though it's
the post
long,
credits.
you got to watch the post credits because it's always hilarious or it's always ridiculous. And this post credits, it was Chris Harrison doing a lot of cow puns, and I was here for it. Honestly, I'm just a Chris Harrison stan. I love Chris Harrison. And he makes so much
I wonder how many
money.
times he Googled like cow jokes before he did it.
He's great. I mean, yeah, he has people to feed him those. Anyways, early villains. Hannah Ann and Kelly. Hannah Ann, first night with the rose ceremony and cocktail party leading up to that, was the queen of can I see you for a quick sec?
I guess it worked because like, you know, he was feeling her.
She got the first impression rose.
She got the first impression rose. She's, you know, beautiful, but yeah, she was definitely aggressive, like overly aggressive, more than. But it, you know, that just kind of goes to show you like the format of the show like is a little different than, you know, it's obviously different than being there in that vacuum than to watch like what we're watching, you know. Maybe he, you know, the only way to get the first impression rose is to have FaceTime, like, you know, and because obviously that one girl that we just had the yikes moment about, she was the one that tried to like remind him about how she messed up in the beginning and stuff, and he didn't even remember her.
It
was embarrassing.
Which is like, well, that's the thing is like, I wouldn't even like if you messed up, like I wouldn't have even brought it back up again. Like, why would you bring it back up again? Like, he didn't even. I feel like he barely even noticed in the moment.
He didn't remember her at all.
Like, you can't. None of these people, like, I mean, you can barely keep track of the names, and you're just watching as a third party observer.
I don't know the names of like shows I've watched for seasons. Like, you know, 10 seasons of The Walking Dead. I barely know Rick Grimes' name on that. I was like,
yeah. So, like, I mean, obviously, like, it's a crazy situation. You're never, if you're like in Peter's shoes, like you're never gonna remember everybody's little thing right away. Like you're just not. Like,
yeah. But the other girl, Kelly, who I think is gonna go really far.
Indeed.
Yeah, she like, you know, is a lawyer. She works, I think, with her family in some law firm.
Yeah, like her dad's law firm.
But the kicker with her is that she actually met Peter in a hotel lobby.
In a hotel. She was there for a wedding.
You think they've hooked up?
And maybe, like, potentially. And he was
They're
there
not talking about it.
He was there for the high school reunion.
I don't think they did hook up, actually. They might have kissed.
But
she definitely told him that she was going on his season of The Bachelor.
She said that I think they were saying how, or whatever, she's like, I'm happy I, like, made this decision or whatever. I think she was, like, you know, hadn't fully decided if she was, like, gonna go on the show or something when they.
Yeah, I'm trying to think back to his reaction when he saw her. He's like, Kelly?
He's like, oh my God. And like they had like some little like inside joke of like some dance moves, like they danced in the lobby or something, like whatever. Like, so of course all the other girls hate her because they think she has like a leg up, which she does.
Yeah.
And
and she's really pretty.
She's pretty. I don't think she's stunning.
To me, I think she's the prettiest one to me.
I mean, yeah, you have her going. I
like her and the girl that was wearing the glasses. Like
Victoria P.
She's so hot that she pulled out the glasses.
Hot. Victoria P is so hot. So their first group date has them doing some flight, of course, because he's the new Ari in the sense that everything's going to be flight related. He like flew over them on a plane. They're doing flight exercises with.
He's washing the plane with his shirt off.
Oh my God! But at least like I feel like he was definitely like.
The pilots really have to wash the plane. Do they do that?
No.
Okay.
Unless
with their shirts off.
I mean, but there's like these two boss bitches who are like whatever, like Air Force pilots. who are like, we're gonna lead you through some stuff, and like all these biddies are like in little like their little like Fabletics 2-piece sets.
They're like bombers.
Like they're in all like their cute like little outfits because like they think because they're like well before they put on the jumpers they're just in little athletic outfits.
Oh yeah.
Like trying to in their best.
Well, they make them like do a bunch of shit that's gonna make them puke, essentially.
Yeah, and so Victoria P, they did like a weird montage similar to back when Annalise was on. It was Ari's season. Wow, the connection, the parallels. When she was on there and she had her bumper car situation. This girl, Victoria P, had a traumatic moment on the teacups.
This one's actually more understandable, though.
Yeah, like, I mean, yeah, my dad doesn't go on the teacups with my family.
I mean,
we
you could just
so
I've just started doing tequila again after just like not liking it that much just because of you get sick off of something you just really don't want to do off of food. Like sometimes like if something made you sick, you're like I don't even want to.
Yeah,
eat
my
that
brother
ever
doesn't
again.
eat Swedish fish anymore.
Yeah.
But
you're like, damn, how did you ruin that just one time? Like, I can understand that.
I mean, I puked off of too many dark chocolate M&Ms. I'll still eat those suckers. I don't mean whatever, but
TMI. Anyways.
But anyway, so she like they have like the little gyro spear thingy mabobber.
Yeah.
She goes on there, comes off like pukes and like pukes and rallies, and Peter goes in and like gives her a bottle of water and comforts her, and like in her little confessional she says she's like that's the best I've ever been treated. So
all right, that's the only thing. Like she's beautiful, but like I already don't like what she's doing. I feel like she's scamming right now. Like she's low-key scamming
potentially.
Well, think about it. Like,
I mean,
first of all,
scamming in the show.
Yeah, but she's
it's
like
all a scam.
Yeah, but
Sai.
she's like in it with a scam. Like you know what I'm saying? Like she's like the girl. When you tell me a girl's never gotten flowers before, or something
that's baloney.
That a beautiful girl like that, like give me a break. Like when she said that, I was like, Veronica, I've given you flowers like twice. Like you know what I'm saying?
I know.
And it's like
I would have boyfriends threaten not to give me flowers because they were awful, because they were manipulative.
Wow, that is dark. But yeah, no. I mean, so that already I know she's like scamming. Like she wants to try to come off as like I'm a prize, like no one's tapped this yet, like or something like that.
I don't know, but she did rock those glasses. And Tyler Cameron tweeted, he's like, Peter gave Victoria like checked on her and gave her water, and she said that's the best she's ever been treated. Men, we need to do better. And I was like, damn, Tyler, you right.
Or she needs to do better with the men that she's finding.
I mean, yeah, obviously. I mean like, not all men, but like all women have had bad experiences. But any hoozles. So they do their cocktail hour just so happens to be the hotel where Kelly and Peter met so fatedly. So of course
that was on purpose.
So, yeah, I mean,
out of all the hotels.
Yeah, all the hotels in California. Of course she gets the rose for that date. And then they do a one-on-one date with Madison, and they go to his parents' vow renewal. Like,
why do you think she got picked for that one? I was confused. Like, she kind of came out of nowhere.
I think she's like the faith one. I think she's like super like into her faith or something, if I'm remembering from all the bios or something. But
okay.
I don't know. She just seems like I don't know. I haven't cried. All these girls like just sitting and when we were watching it, like just some of the stuff they were saying, and like I know like I'm maybe only a couple years older than most of them, or like a year older than most of them, but they seem very far removed from me. Like the way that they talk is not very, I'm like, what the hell? So yeah, I don't really know. I don't know her story really. I know she had like in her little montage, she like shoots a basketball.
Well, yeah, she's definitely another person that has a leg up now because she met the family.
But I've always had a weird thing. Like even when Peter was on Hannah Brown's season, his family was like way too into it. Like very like overly into the whole vibe. Like the fact that they obviously are like super into like this whole thing. If they were like, yeah, ABC, like film our vow renewal, we want to do this for a date on the show. Like to me that just like really weirds me out. And they were like very like like immediately weirdly into Madison, like some girl that they literally just met who like has literally just met their son, and like I don't know, like their vibe like
honestly,
weirds me out.
I get it though. Like it's weird because like this Messiah show that I'm watching right now on Netflix, like it's kind of it's crazy because like this guy, well, this guy like essentially it's like becomes like gets a following, like you know what I'm saying, and
like a Messiah.
and the people and like the people that like follow him and stuff like that are really close in his circle, like are on Instagram, and all of a sudden they have like 1 million followers, and there's this one scene where she like sees that she's gotten like 250,000 followers since the last time she checked, and she had at 1 million. And she starts reading the comments, and they're all like negative and stuff. And it's just really crazy because like the height and fame brings like different like feelings to a person. Like people like the attention, people like so there's like different, like they might in their life, like the amount of fame they've gotten from just being his parents from the show, they probably are like, yeah, let's do it, like all our friends want to hang out with us, we always have something to talk about, like it just is weird to me, especially because like I know my mom would like be like, if you ever went on that show, like she would be like, what the hell are you doing? But it just is very it always seemed weird to me. But anyways, that was a date. She passed. Well, let's talk about this ending that was to be continued, which I think is one of the most ridiculous things to do at the end of a show. It's like every episode is like a continuation of the last one, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's like more like it didn't end like where the actual.
Well, that's what
like,
annoys me.
It didn't end like with the rose. That's why whenever they do to be continued on this, it's like when it doesn't end when it's supposed to, like i.e. like everything is supposed to, like every episode has the conclusion of like a rose ceremony. That's like what would make it a full.
It didn't have a rose ceremony.
No, but like. If we started that date, it should have like if for them to not have the to be continued, it would have had to end in a rose to be given out to them. It's like a complete episode.
It's just a tactic to get people to watch the second episode.
I mean, yeah, but like
how long can we drag out this Hannah thing? So I mean, legit, do you think like she
So Hannah, she came back. She came back.
I love how you like
on the limos.
You corrected my thing here. You didn't erase it. You wanted me to see how wrong I was on my typing right here, my document.
Yeah, like you were so wrong.
Sorry.
I was like, what the hell?
I spelled throne completely wrong. But sometimes I'm just like trying to get it on there, like whatever. I hate you.
But Hannah, so she came back on the limos, and so all the girls freaked out, right? But she went and did the whole show being like, here's the wings that you gave me back. Like, hopefully, I want you to be able to give them to someone else, whatever. But then, second group date, he's like, I have a good friend of mine setting this up. And lo and behold, it's little Miss Hannah B, like in her little pageant pose on a stage, telling them how they're all about to have to tell.
That's after she tells like how she had sex like a bunch of times with the guy
him.
That they're all trying to marry.
They're all trying to marry. And then she's like, no, you guys are going to have to bare your souls on stage in front of an audience.
Oh, they still haven't done that. That's
exactly.
Okay,
that's why it's to be continued. The date's not over.
Okay.
So, they all go off to go like write what they're going to do or whatever. And then Peter goes to like check on Hannah, her say like, hey, thanks for whatever.
Yeah.
And she's crying, like sobbing. Her mascara is going everywhere. She has a full glam squad from 2 shows now. Her own Bachelorette season and from Dancing with the Stars, which she won. Why is she in mascara that is not waterproof when she's going to be on national television? Okay. It's for the effect, and it's stupid. But, so she's crying and she's feeling some kind of way. And Peter's like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. And then they're both like posing like really like, they're both trying to trap the way that their conversation went, they were both trying to trap each other. They were both like, he was like, well, I really thought it was going to be me. And she's like, well, I really thought blah, blah, blah. And then like they both kind of like, whatever, like Jed was a thing and we're going to forget that happened. But like, that was a choice I made. And then he was like, well, you know how.
You're trying to retcon.
Yeah. Like, he's like, well, you know how you asked Tyler out like on After the Rose? Like, do you wish you did that with me? Like, that is like bait, like fishing. That is like full on fishing. But she had already been like, well, do you wish that like things worked out between like whatever? I'm like, both of you guys are just fishing with each other. Just like,
I mean, they both.
Maybe he'll bite. Maybe he'll bite. Maybe he'll bite.
There's not much fishing. It's just like there's just like power dynamic
Yeah,
shifts.
oh,
like
for
you know what I'm
sure.
saying? Like it's just like, yo, when you had the power, you ran through all these people. Now I'm about to run through all these people. Do you want to get in line or no? Because I did for you.
Yeah.
Now you want to flip it. You didn't pick me. I made it. You should have picked me. You made a mistake. Now you're crying about it. You want to get in line? Just pick it or no. Like, well, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and so now they're crying.
shit or get off the pot.
Yeah. Now they're crying and feeling some kind of way, and then it's to be continued.
Yeah.
And it looked like in some of the previews that he was like Hannah Brown, and they looked like very cutesy and like they were about to kiss.
Yeah. So to watch the continuation, catch our Bachelor Live next week that Veronica thinks is not going to happen, but it will.
I didn't say things is not going to happen.
Oh, well,
I said we have to discuss things.
Well, it's on. So there's things we'll have to discuss about us being on camera, but catch you next week with Future Bachelor on Live Watch of Bachelor to catch the continuation of this saga to see if Hannah actually comes on the show. I'm going to go ahead and say she does stay on the show.
I think she's going to be on for like, I mean, she's like kind of like a new wave version of Nick Viall.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, she should just join the show.
I mean,
and she'd have a step up.
She's
right?
like trying to get her money or like whatever. Like she's really like juicing this contract. 'Cause like obviously she's still like under contract, and I'm like, girl, like.
Well, this can get her.
Like,
this could get her. Do you think this would be able to get her Bachelor in Paradise and maybe back to being a Bachelorette again? Have they ever had someone do the Bachelor or Bachelorette twice?
No, I don't know. But, like, I don't know if that's what she wants because she shit on the show, like, so many times. That's what I don't get. And, like, they said, like, you know, there's a boost in ratings or whatever. And, like, Mike Fleiss, I guess, tweeted that out. And, like, she replied to his tweet being like, you're welcome. And I was like, damn, Hannah.
What boost in ratings?
For, like, there was, like, they, like, had a big boost or, like, whatever or, like, viewing or, like, whatever for that episode. And she, like, Mike Fleiss, like, was being like, oh, whatever, like, we got this high or whatever for this episode. Like, and Hannah B replied to the tweet being like, you're welcome.
Yeah. I mean, I could see why. It's more drama from last seasons. So, all right, well, catch us next week, Bachelor Live.
We'll have to see what happens with Hannah. Hannah Banana.
Well, we'll be here to let you know. This week's Slapper of the Week.
It's been a slapper in my heart since it came out.
Yeah, it definitely grew on me. We've had a couple One Direction members for slappers the last couple weeks.
We have.
So this is just in line with that.
In line because they're great.
Harry Styles finally made a song that for me that like stood out to me that I'm like, all right, I've heard ones from other members that like really stood out to me. Harry Styles for some reason hasn't yet. And then I kept hearing it. I think I kept seeing like an ad like
me too on Instagram stories.
Yeah, something kept like
it's like his Adora. It was called Adora, and it's like with some Spotify special thing that they did. I think
it got me, and I was like, damn, this is a good song. So I mean, we didn't have anything better this week. Like,
no, I'll be honest. I like really try to look through new releases, and I was not feeling anything.
So this week's Slapper of the Week, without further ado, is called "Adore You" by Harry Styles. So let's just get into it.
Slapper of the Week. This song slaps.
Slapper, let's go. Yeah, "Adore You" by Harry Styles, Slapper of the Week. That is a jam for sure. Holy cow.
Smooth.
Yo, do you have any shout outs this week?
I wanted to shout out my friends Michael Campbell and Morgan because they helped me with my battery. The reason why I was late, if you didn't know, if you didn't watch the Facebook Live, Sai mentioned it about 50 times that I was late.
Became a drinking game.
Because my battery was dead. I had to fix my car. Sorry. I even explained that. But they helped me, so that was awesome. And then I wanted to shout out my homies at Discount Tire because like we're tight. Because Because I know how to change a flat better than most people, and I literally I made that joke when I was there, and they're like, we're hiring, maybe you should just get a job here. And I was like, hey,
Found your calling.
I'm like, hey, maybe. Goddamn. And then I wanted to shout out my girl Kathleen at Salon Vagabond. You can find her at Kathleen Hair. She's been doing my hair for the past 3.5 years.
It looks
here,
nice.
and she just gave me a nice. I always get my haircut. My haircut always falls like right before my birthday, which is perfect. So I could always get it cut right before then. So she did a good job. So
nice.
And then obviously, Sai, I wanted to shout out you because I haven't seen you up until like this week, and it's been so long. And I missed you so much.
And we're being super productive. Like, holy crap! Like, right back in it. Like,
I know. Like
that was like the thing about like doing like some of my podcasts didn't even have podcasts like over like some of the holiday. Like one of the like skip a week and you know like because of how much like dedication like you put into the show, like it motivates me to continue to put dedication in the show. But I know I'm like the one with all the equipment and stuff. That's why I bring it down to Florida and stuff. It's not just so I can have episodes without you. It's just because we're building this thing together, and it's like I want it, to be successful.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you always letting me go rogue for a couple of weeks at points. And then coming back, the live watch thing, I know I just kind of like sprung it on you and stuff, but to me, I just think it's just like
I know I walked in, I was like so confused.
Yeah, but it's an extension of the brand. This is what we do to grow, and like these little things, whether they work or not work, we're gonna try them out, and we're gonna try and see if like if people catch on. But regardless, it's a matter of just I think connecting with people, and I love that aspect of the live thing. And so my shout outs like this weekend, my friend Lacey, shout out to Lacey. Her birthday's on Friday. We're doing a party at my friend Jay's house, his new house. I was going for a walk with this past weekend. I ran into him walking his dog, and it's just really cool. Like he sent me a text, or I sent him a message being like, "Hey, good running into you," like on there, and he's like, "Dude."
I love that you pretend to hold your phone like it's like
like it's like a Game Gear or something. like
it's like like a Nintendo Switch or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, hey man.
Like I'm like, why am I typing on this big ass iPad? But
turn sideways.
Turn sideways.
Landscape mode.
So I was like, good to see you, man. He was like, dude, I love your positivity and stuff. He's just like he's Lacey's friend, so he's become one of my good friends, and I hope another year. This is kind of Lacey's birthday is like the 1 year anniversary kind of like me being really close with this friend group I got with her and like her friends and stuff. So it's been a great year having them as my friends. I can't wait to have more memories in the next year. So shout out to both Lacey and Jay. And then lastly, our boy Robbie from last week's episode, Robbie G on the Googs. I mean, it was like definitely I had the worst night's sleep last night. Have you ever had those nights where you just like, you feel like you look at the clock every 2 hours? Have you fell asleep at all? Like,
and then I regret not taking a CBD melatonin gummy. And
I do.
And now I'm like, now it's too late because if I take it, then I'm gonna be effed
Well,
up.
you're so tired that you're like, you should get up and do something to make you go back to sleep, but you just don't do anything.
Because like you're like
exhausted.
I'm exhausted, but like you're like
maybe I'll fall back asleep.
Usually I'm like, and when I'm in those places, I'm like, I could get up. And like I don't know, like maybe I need like a glass of water. I'm like I could get up and get it. I'm like, but I'm not gonna.
Or just go to the bathroom. Maybe that'll help.
Sometimes.
But yeah, like Robbie sent me this text like at 2:30, almost 3 in the morning, which I'm guessing is I'm maybe after a couple of drinks. But he said he had listened to like the full episode of our podcast. He hadn't gotten a chance to listen to the full thing yet. And he just said some really nice things about us doing our thing and stuff. And it just motivates me more to go harder for us and stuff. So shout out to Robbie for being on the podcast last week. We got to bond a lot before everyone got there. And for just being an awesome friend of mine, man. And my replacement in the house. He's Seth Meyers. So let's see. So that's our show.
That's how the show ends.
This is your golden episode.
I know.
So next week is your birthday episode.
Yeah. Yeah. I was so upset, I'll be honest, like, because I counted out, because I was like, okay, when does 94 land? And the fact that it landed the week, it's actually, so today, the day that we're recording, the 8th of January, it'll be the 9th when you guys are listening to this or later. This is actually my due date. So I think it's funny that it landed on today.
Wow.
Because I was sort of pissed. So like, I wanted it to be my birthday week. Like, wouldn't that be like so like serendipitous?
Same thing happened on mine. Like, I think I was like 85
you were like,
or
yeah,
something.
you were like 2 weeks off. So I would like, wouldn't that be serendipitous? But I guess it is sort of serendipitous that it's on my actual due date.
It only
the only
happened.
thing I've like really like that always pissed me off that I was like 10 days late.
Yeah.
For being born. Like, I don't, for some reason, like, I really hate that.
At least you were born.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Shucks.
I think it only happens once. You only get one golden episode, so I hope you had a good one.
Okay.
I'm just saying, you only get like one golden birthday. You only get one golden episode and stuff.
I know, my golden birthday was my 18th birthday.
Yeah. It only comes once. So that's been your golden episode, and it's good to have you back on the show. And what are we doing for your birthday? We partying?
You got an invite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Let me check it out. I'm gonna read it on the pod right now. Guys, is it next weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on my actual birthday.
Oh shit! I got something I gotta do that day.
Okay.
Just joking. You just seen her face. She was about to cry.
No, I was just about to be like, of course you do. Fucking hoe.
Anyways, all right, guys. Well, we love you guys. We'll see you next week with episode 95 of Future Bachelor. My name is Sai.
I'm Veronica.
And we love you, and we'll see you next week. All right? Deuces!
Bye!
Future Bachelor Podcast.